Good morning, Dhiyanesh. I'm Vinita from BriBooks. And first of all, I want to congratulate
Yes, ma'am.
winning the bestseller, competition. Dhiyanesh, can you please introduce yourself and the book that you have written?
Yes, ma'am. My name is KV Dhiyanesh, belongs to Sivahangai, studying 7th standard in Velamal Residential School. I am feeling very proudly to be a young author and one of the participated in National Young Author Fair competition. I am need to dedicate my thanks to the organizer of this competition and the founder, sir, of this BriBooks.com.
Thank you so much. Dhiyanesh, your story is the
Thank you, ma'am.
superhero, right? So
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
it's an interesting title, and I think boys especially they love these
Ah,
figures that who are very different in nature. So can
ah,
you talk a little bit about your book? Why did you choose this particular plot? What is the story like? And just a briefest little bit about your book story that you have written.
hmm. Okay, ma'am. Well, my story was about science and technology. The reason for choosing the topic was in my friend circle and my family members. Everyone had a lot of interest in science and technology only, ma'am. So I hope everyone has interest in science and technology. So I chose this topic and written a story about the one of the powerful suit in the America. It was about the four friends who has invented and modified the robotic suit. ma'am.
Okay.
It was my story.
Okay. And how did you get
Yes, ma'am.
this inspiration to
I,
write, this story on this particular subject?
ah, ma'am, my mother is also an author. So I inspired by her and they start writing one.
So did you feel any, issues, problems while you were, building up your story? And if you did, then how did you solve them?
Ma'am, I did not face any issues or problems. Everyone just motivated me and everyone was supportive, ma'am.
Okay. And what was your experience
Okay.
of, being in the contest? Were you nervous or were you excited? Was there joy that, sometimes we get nervous when we are in some kind of competition. So how are you taking, this particular journey of being in a competition and also kind of, handling your studies? Uh, so how did you balance
Yes,
that out?
ma'am, I wrote this book on my quarterly leave after the examination. There will be 1 week leave. So I wrote this book on that week's ma'am. And the experience was very good. BriBooks was support me in lot of things because the BriBooks.com was providing a best pages, alignment, and they are giving a best imaginary images. It gives a very wonderful experience, ma'am.
Oh, love to, hear that.
Mm.
Uh, so tell me, when did you discover your love for writing and you kind of felt that yes, I want to be an author?
Hmm.
When did that, happen to you?
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, when I was 10 years old, I have a lot of interest in storytelling and reading books. And I think why I should can't write a book. So I take it as a challenge and wrote one book named E Square Animals. It was my first book about extinct and endangered animals. I wrote that extinction and endangered animal book for the young generation to know about how to stop the endangerment or extinction. Now the superhero. This book was my second book, ma'am.
Yeah, very
Ah,
nice, very nice. So tell me, I mean, you're in which standard are you?
I'm studying seventh standard, ma'am.
Seventh standard.
Seventh standard, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So what do you want to be when you grow up? Have you
Ma'am,
decided?
I need.
Still
Mm,
figuring out.
yes, ma'am. I need to become a good author, ma'am.
Okay, so you want to take up writing as your profession.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
lovely. So tell me, I mean, how do you feel since you have written a book on endangered species also, and then it's a very different genre that you this time explored about science and technology, right? So,
Mm,
what are the things that you feel as a child that need to change in our surroundings? I mean, do you
mm,
feel that the world around you is perfect, or do you feel that there's some mending required?
mm. I wrote my first book to stop the endangerment of animals, ma'am, because nobody knows. If I ask you any child what is the extinct species, they are just know about the dinosaurs only. So I decided to notice specific animals. So I got an idea by reading many books, and I also start writing my first book named E Square Animals. So I
That's
start writing that book, and more people bought that book, ma'am, and they all enjoyed the book. And I am feeling very proudly to be a young author.
yes, you're
Ma'am,
right.
this is my first book about the E Square Animals.
Okay, that's so nice. Uh, Wonderful, wonderful. It's so I mean,
Thank you, ma'am.
how are you into other activities other than writing books and storytelling? What are your other hobbies?
Ma'am, I have interest in drawing and I have interest in many ECS, ma'am, like skating, silambam. Silambam was an ancient martial arts of India,
Oh, that's
and I have interest in writing. Mm.
okay. Okay.
Writing was my more important job.
That's what I think you are able to put your thoughts into words and, kind of bring awareness around. So I think that's a tool that you have, and I really wish that you continue to write. So tell me who inspires you, what inspires you to,
Yes, ma'am.
become an author? What kind of books do you read? Is there favorite author that
Mm.
you have or some story that
Yes, ma'am.
inspires you?
Yes, ma'am. Mm. Yes, ma'am. When I was 10 years old, my mother gifted me a one book named The Lost Temple, written by Sudha Murthy. She was a good author.
Okay.
So I study her book and inspired by her book, ma'am. So that time only I take it as a challenge and wrote these all books, ma'am.
Okay. So do you feel that, there should be some kind of a different way that we should take up in storytelling? Since we've all read
Mm.
fairy tales, we've read short stories, we've read moral stories.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you feel that needs more? What more can we bring through stories? What more can we change in the
Mm.
storytelling world?
Mm. Ma'am, the comics book was a more addicted story, ma'am.
Mhm.
And many young generation people have interest in only comics book, ma'am. So I wrote the comics book named Superhero and like theory. It was an E square animals. My first book was like a theory about animals, ma'am. It
Okay.
means how to stop the extinction and endangerment. That's all, ma'am.
Yes, correct. So, when you grow up, right, and you are given uh, power to change something around you, what would you like to change?
Hmm. Um, I need to change everyone's habit. Everyone should read at least one book for 1 week at least. A new book. They need to develop their knowledge by reading books, ma'am. It
That's
was I need to thought to change this.
wonderful thought. That's
Hmm.
so amazing.
Reading is a good habit, ma'am.
Yes, I agree with you. Reading is a very
Thank
good
you, ma'am.
habit. So thank you so much for Divyansh for for this conversation, and thank you so much for writing such meaningful books on BriBooks. And
Hmm.
we wish
Thank you, ma'am.
Best of luck, and we wish you lots of, book writing experience and lots of, winning in
Mm.
your coming future. Thank you so much for this conversation.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Nice to meet you. Thank you, ma'am.